Victoria police looking for a 21-year-old man wanted on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The federal government paying to replace a longtime bridge in the Crossroads. And a major court hearing tomorrow morning on the fate of the Luther Hotel in Palacios.
We'll be looking at your weekend forecast. Fairly pleasant out there. There's a chance of a little rain on Saturday night, so we'll take a closer look on it coming up in a moment.
And the Pepsi Athlete of the Week keeps the East Titans playoffs hopes alive. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. Victoria firefighters worked a small fire at a gas station this morning. The fire call came in just after 8 a.m. Firefighters had the scene under control by 8:30. It happened at this gas station in the 700 block of South Navarro Street. Firefighters say the fire started in the AC ductwork. Victoria Crime Stoppers looking for a 21-year-old man wanted on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Aaron Pedraza is 5'6", 165 pounds. The warrant issued just last month. All tips are anonymous and you could earn a cash reward if he is arrested. And this 28-year-old man is wanted. Anibal Resendez has an outstanding warrant for violation of probation. He's 5'7", 150 pounds. If you know where he is, police want to hear from you. Jackson County Sheriff's Office has 2 people detained after a high-speed chase early this morning. The chase, with speeds reaching over 100 miles an hour, was northwest of Edna. The vehicle being chased ran through 2 fences. Lavaca County Crime Stoppers needs information on Shelby Clark. The Hallettsville woman has an outstanding felony parole warrant issued for her arrest for manufacture of a controlled substance. She has ties to the Hallettsville, Yoakum, and Victoria areas. If you have information, call Lavaca County Crime Stoppers at 361-401-1930. Wharton Police wanting information on Michael Renord White. He is wanted for evading arrest or detention out of the Wharton Police Department. If you have information, call Wharton PD at 979-532-3131, or you can give a tip on p3tips.com. Thursday afternoon, Victoria police take 26-year-old Joseph Pettis into custody. Pettis accused of causing problems at 1508 North Lawrence Street. Perez was taken to the Victoria County Jail on a public intoxication charge. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. All right, getting down into the 60s tonight, Mac. That's still good. We had a fine weather day today.
We sure did. We'd like to bottle this up and use it for later this summer. We were in the 50s last night, so that was fairly comfortable. Right now we're 64. Getting a little bit more humid as we get into the day. That's because the winds have now shifted to the southeast. We're actually going to warm up for the next 2 days before that little front comes through, and it will bring us some rain, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Also, we've got the latest in forecast for this year's hurricane season. We'll be talking about that also coming up in a moment. Don?
Mac, thank you. TxDOT getting $14 million from the U.S. Department of Transportation to replace the U.S. 59 San Antonio River Bridge in Goliad. This bridge is 93 years old. More than 4,200 vehicles cross the bridge daily, including more than 1,300 semi-trucks. It's in fair condition, but at risk of falling into poor condition. The replacement project would widen and raise the bridge deck outside of the 100-year floodplain and increase the shoulders.
Congratulations to this community, congratulations to the state for this application. It was extremely competitive, and TxDOT really put the best foot forward with the support of the Alliance.
This grant is part of investments made possible by the Biden-Harris administration's bipartisan infrastructure law, which will help repair or rebuild 10 of the most economically significant bridges in the country, along with thousands of bridges across the U.S. Construction starts in 2024. The bridge will always have at least one lane open. This is Skyview 25 over the Luther Hotel. Friday, Judge Polly Spencer will hear arguments on the issues of whether to keep the Luther Hotel in Palacios or to sell it to the Ed Rochal Foundation. If it goes to the foundation, the Luther Hotel, built in 1903, will be demolished. The hearing will be online and will be streamed on the judge's YouTube channel. On June 22nd, there will be an in-person hearing at the Matagorda County Courthouse in Bay City to determine the future of the Luther Hotel. Here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. Here's the question. Do you plan on watching the Luther Hotel court hearing? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. 12% of our voters say yes. 88% of the voters say no. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. The mother of a Virginia 6-year-old who shot his teacher, free on bond tonight. Deja Taylor turned herself in and posted bond today. Taylor charged with felony child neglect and recklessly leaving a firearm to endanger a child. Authorities say her son took her gun to an elementary school in January and shot his teacher, Abigail Zwerner. Zwerner suffered gunshot wounds to her hand and chest. The child will not be criminally charged. Taylor expected to appear in court Friday. Thousands of foreign nationals have crossed the Rio Grande from Juarez, Mexico, and turned themselves over to agents this week. The Department of Homeland Security issued guidelines directing South and Central American citizens to apply for asylum in the U.S. online. Juarez authorities say migrants from South and Central America continue to arrive in the city daily in anticipation of the May 11th rollback of Title 42 public health expulsions. In Austin, the House Committee on State Affairs hears testimony over a bill that would expand the state's ability to enforce immigration law. House Bill 20 calls for the creation of a new unit within DPS. The Border Protection Unit would arrest, detain, and deter individuals crossing the border illegally, including with the use of non-deadly force. The bill also calls for a $10,000 fine for those caught crossing. County commissioners in Llano County voting unanimously today to drop talks of cutting funding to the county's library system. This after a federal judge orders the libraries to return several banned books to library shelves. A group of residents sued county leaders in April 2022. They claimed their First and 14th Amendment rights were violated by the removals. The commissioners and library board members appealed the ruling. County leaders will continue to fight the lawsuit. New developments in the Pentagon's leaked secret documents. A member of the Massachusetts National Air Guard was identified as a person of interest in the investigation.
A dramatic arrest caught on camera in connection with the Pentagon's leaked documents probe. A man walking out of a Massachusetts home with his hands above his head before he's handcuffed and taken into custody.
Today, the Justice Department arrested Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
The National Guard telling ABC they're aware of the investigation into the Guardsmen, saying they take it very seriously and will support investigators.
This comes after a teen whose identity was withheld spoke with the Washington Post with permission from his mother, claiming to know the alleged leaker.
First found out that these were made public. It felt like my heart was beaten out of its chest. I could not believe that this was happening. We didn't realize the sheer, just immense nature of these leaks.
The teen calling the leaker OG, telling the paper he did not want to disclose OG's identity, location, or military base where he says he works. Instead, describing OG as a charismatic, gun-loving gamer in his early to mid-20s, saying OG began posting classified information to Discord last fall. Their invite-only group with roughly 24 members around the globe was reportedly passionate about guns, military gear, and God.
The documents were often listed as Ukraine versus Russia at first. However, it slowly spiraled into just intelligence about everything.
Those documents rapidly spreading across similar groups, causing a global diplomatic fallout.
According to the Post, it's unlikely the leaker intended the information to spread further than that original Discord group. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick speaking about two Senate bills aimed at improving mental health throughout the state. Senate Bills 25 and 26 aim to help the shortage of nursing staff, increase the number of beds for psychiatric patients and prisoners, and increasing funding for state-run hospitals. Around $3.5 billion will be invested into the mental health across the state through these bills. If both bills pass, they will go into effect on September 1st. A nearly 11-hour standoff with a barricaded gunman ending early this morning in Indiana. SWAT members gaining entrance into an apartment building and taking the suspect into custody. Police say the gunman was indiscriminately firing at officers as they responded to the scene with a high-powered rifle. Residents in the area were evacuated for their own safety.
Approximately 6:05 a.m. this morning, our suspect was taken into custody by Fort Wayne SWAT. He was taken into custody and then transported into an ambulance, and while he was receiving medical care, he succumbed to whatever injuries he might have had.
Authorities say hundreds of shots were fired during the standoff. No identification of the suspect has been given, and no motive for the gunfire is yet known. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, the Florida legislature approves a ban on abortions 6 weeks after pregnancy. Also ahead, Fort Lauderdale, Florida hit with flash flooding after 20 inches of rain fell from a slow-moving storm.
News Center 25 at 6 and 10 is also heard on KVNN 1340 AM, Victoria's News Network. Get the day's news in your inbox email newsletters from 25 News Now. Sign up today. Go to crossroadstoday.com/email alerts to get started.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, part of America's best-selling trucks for 46 straight years. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. And now, there's a great in-stock selection to choose from at your best in Texas Ford dealer. Drive F-150 now with 0% financing plus $1,000 cash plus up to $1,000 accessories cash plus complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
You want to have purpose, to unlock your full potential. Imagine a career that fits you. With the Pathways at Victoria College, you can take steps towards a high-paying career that fits you and your interests. Or save money by completing courses you need before transferring to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. No matter where you came from or where you are now, Victoria College will take you where you want to be. The world needs you. Are you ready? Victoria College. Enroll today.
Theatre Victoria's Mystery in the Garden is back with Murder at the Derby. Join us at the Victoria Educational Gardens Thursday, April 27th as guests interact and question the suspects. Then put your detective skills to the test and cast your vote for the killer. For tickets and event information, go to theatervictoria.org or call 361-576-6277. Detectives and gumshoes, make sure you are at Murder at the Derby. Sponsored in part by the Victoria Television Group.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
One of the hippos belonging to drug lord Pablo Escobar died in Colombia after being hit by a car Tuesday night. The hippo died on the spot while the person in the car received medical attention. Hippos were illegally brought into Colombia in the 1980s by Pablo Escobar. The hippos have reproduced rapidly and have spread far beyond Escobar's former ranch. Leaders have urged the national government in Colombia to create a plan to transfer the hippos to sanctuaries in India and Mexico. The Republican-dominated Florida legislature approved a bill to ban abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. A 6-week ban would give Governor Ron DeSantis a key political victory among Republican primary voters as he prepares to launch his expected presidential candidacy. The policy would also have wider implications for abortion access throughout the South. Florida currently prohibits abortions after 15 weeks. President Biden announcing expanding health care coverage for Dreamers in the DACA program today. The action will allow Dreamers, young children brought to the U.S. illegally by their parents, to enroll in a health care plan through the Affordable Care Act or through Medicaid. Dreamers were previously ineligible for government-subsidized health care plans because they did not meet the definition for having lawful presence in the United States. The World Health Organization is warning that massive efforts are needed to reduce salt intake, with millions of lives at risk.
Sodium is an essential nutrient, but when consumed in excess can lead to several health issues such as heart disease, stroke, and premature death. A global target to reduce sodium intake 30% by 2025 was put in place, but the World Health Organization says the world is currently off track to reach this goal. The global average estimate of salt intake is 10.8 grams a day, which is more than double the organization's recommendation of 5 grams a day. They say that implementing sodium reduction policies can save an estimated 7 million people by 2030, but so far only 9 countries have implemented such policies, and the United States is not one of them. Sodium in prepackaged or ultra-processed foods pose a great risk to high sodium consumption, things like frozen meals, canned foods, and deli meats. The CDC recommends checking nutrition labels, opting for foods that say reduced sodium, and looking for fresh, frozen, or canned veggies with no sodium added are all good ways to reduce your intake. And be sure to talk to your doctor if you have any concerns about your sodium intake, as they can direct you to resources and guidance that may be helpful. With this Medical Minute, I'm Emwin, ABC News.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida remains buried in water after a major storm moves through the area. More than 20 inches of rain fell during the storm. The flooding made its way into numerous homes, forcing some citizens to be helped from their homes. Fort Lauderdale's emergency centers received 900 calls for help in a 24-hour period. The Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport shut down, as was City Hall, along with schools in the district.
Don't come until we are back open again, and it will be a process that we go through being opened up again. We have to go through, obviously, getting the planes back in order, fuel, food, pilots, all the employees back in place as well. So it will be a process. And again, our hope is that tomorrow morning we'll be back in operation. We hope. We are optimistic but cautious at that time.
City leaders issued a declaration of emergency after the storm moved through.
Pretty amazing, the amount of rain, a foot of rain, and of course, you know, Florida's pretty flat, so it didn't have anywhere to go. All came down at one time. But then again, Houston, Hurricane Harvey, 50 inches of rain. That never happens, doesn't it? Anyway, we've got a fairly nice evening. Your temperature right now, 64 degrees. Managed to get up to 81 today, but we'll be talking about what to expect for the rest of the week and a very important news out of Colorado State regarding our upcoming hurricane season. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
There's a powerful beast roaming these woods. And if you listen, you can hear it. Every now and then, you get a glimpse of it.
Grandpa telling his stories again.
The 2023 Toyota Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Navarro Small Animal Clinic provides exceptional veterinary care in the Crossroads with complete veterinary services for your pet's wellness, including ultrasound, digital x-rays, and in-house laboratory. Navarro Small Animal Clinic, serving Victoria and surrounding communities with comprehensive veterinary care. Our goal is to provide complete care for your pets. Dr. Shayna Boak and her staff at Navarro Small Animal Clinic welcomes your pets Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at 5009 Country Club Drive.
When you don't keep your eyes on what you're doing, it can be downright dangerous to you and others, especially when you're behind the wheel. Put your phone down. Heads up, Texas.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips. 25 News Now would like to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Go to the link on your screen for more information on how to download.
Join happy Optimum customers who love their fast Optimum 300 meg internet for as low as $30 a month. Paul says it's reliable internet, great speed, reasonable pricing. Thanks, Paul. We think you're great too. Plus, Optimum has faster download speeds than AT&T nationwide. Get Optimum 300 meg internet for $30 a month with Optimum Mobile for as low as $15 a month. For your special offer, call 866-9-OPTIMUM. Go to Optimum.com or visit a store today. Get closer, go farther with Optimum.
Please tune in Sundays at 11 a.m. on KAVU Channel 25, Sudden Link Channel 4 to view the First Baptist Church weekly service.
Give it up for Anthony Anderson, y'all! Didn't you go to the Bahamas with Michael Jordan?
We played golf, but I actually beat him that day. And he balled the money up and threw it at my face. Love you, MJ. Keep the shoes coming. Keep the shoes coming.
Plus a performance from musician Sam James. And we're making noodles. Boom! Do you like it, Anthony?
Huh?
Well, good evening, everyone. We've got some big news that came out of Colorado State University. If you don't know what that means, is that Dr. Gray, about 20, 30 years ago, started predicting the amount of hurricanes that we get in a season, and their first preliminary forecast came out today. Now, Dr. Grace passed, and Dr. Klobach is now in charge of that. And so in the April forecast, which is obviously early and preliminary, they say we're going to have below average named storms. We normally get 14. They say we're only going to get 13. We normally get 6 hurricanes with names on it. He says 7. And we normally get 2 major hurricanes that's above 3. And so they say 3. So it's basically below average as far as Colorado State is concerned. Obviously, the Hurricane Center will give us their interpretation, and obviously we go with them closer to the beginning of the season. And so the season, when is the season? I'm going to ask Don to join me in a little rhyme. This is what I talk to the kids about when I go visit the schools. Remember, the hurricane rhyme is like this: June too soon. Don?
November, please remember.
No. Pay attention, class. June too soon. July stand by. August you must. September to remember. October it's over. Ta-da.
But it's not, though. It's at the end of November that hurricane season is over.
Well, well, hold on. Well, hold on. Hurricanes exist, but by then we start getting cold fronts that come into our area, so they don't actually hit Texas. I made that up for us. This is not a generic Farmer's Almanac thing. I made it up for us.
Okay.
Because that's what we need to. Hey, anything can change, but that's the rhyme, and that's why we have to start in June getting ready for all of this. I'm not going to give you a gold star today. I'm not sure, All right, folks, for us, as I mentioned, we have a 64 current temperature. Our high temperature got up to 81 today. Next couple of days, we're going to watch that frontal system. And this is, of course, that system that brought all that tremendous rainfall to Florida. Now, that one is going to pull away. This frontal system is going to push down. Right now, it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, but when it gets to the Gulf Coast, you're going to see this little line right about there extend down to almost the crossroads. So let's just say from Victoria North, they got a better chance than Victoria South of getting any kind of shower activity with that. And of course, it's only 30% chance, and that's Saturday night. Don't want you to get worried. It'll be a good Saturday. It'll be an even better Sunday when the front blows out to sea and we get a nice north wind that gives us a little bit of cooling weather. This time of the year, we're pretty excited to be only in the 70s. So here's your forecast: 84 tomorrow. You'll feel a little bit more wind and humidity. 90 on Saturday. That's kind of like in the middle of the day. Front doesn't come in until after sundown. That's why we don't count it into that. But look at that, Sunday, looking at a 79, a little north wind and fairly low humidity. That's going to be very delightful. All right, folks, that's your 7-day forecast. We've got the QR code. We want you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone, and you can take us wherever you want to go. And now here's Gino with sports.
Thanks, Mac. There is a record-breaking buyer for the Washington Commanders, but the deal is not done yet. That's coming up after the break.
CCA Texas and industry leaders have built the largest saltwater redfish, spotted sea trout, and southern flounder hatchery system in the world, releasing nearly 1 billion fingerlings into our Texas bays. Adult broodstock are spawned in tanks. Hundreds of thousands of fingerlings are raised in grow-out ponds and released into bays to ensure we have healthy populations for future generations. Join CCA today and help us make a difference.
Victoria Preservation Inc.'s 2023 Historic Homes Tour will be held on April 22nd and 23rd. Join us for Treasures of the Past with guided tours showcasing Victoria's historic homes and neighborhoods. Tickets are $20 per person in advance or $25 the days of the tour, all ages. Like VPI on Facebook or contact us for details at 361-573-1878. Proudly sponsored by the Victoria Television Group.
Hi folks, Greg at Fuller Pep. A longtime customer talked to me the other day and told me they switched to a horse feed from another company because it was cheaper than ours. Before long, the shape of his horses deteriorated and one ended up at the vet. Our equine feeds are formulated to keep your horses in the best condition and maintain peak performance at any life stage. We're not the cheapest, but we sell a superior quality product at a fair price. And in my opinion, that's value. Come see us at Fuller Pep.
Join us at First United Methodist Church Sunday mornings at 8:30 on KAVU TV. But if you're looking for a place to worship in person, we'd love to have you join us here at 8:30 and 10:40 in our sanctuary, or at 11 o'clock with Pastor Amanda in our Ignite Contemporary service. As society gets more and more back to normal, we hope that you'll join us for worship. We were made to worship in community. We pray together, sing together, share in Holy Communion together. Won't you come be the church with us at First United Methodist Church?
You were riding on a scooter.
Correct.
His little dog came out and was barking.
From a slow roll to out of control.
Your dog took off.
Correct.
And started to run.
Come on, let's go.
She called the police, and they wound up coming back to my house and saying that I harassed her.
Why did you go to the police?
Next, Judge Judy.
Howdy, Crossroads. Some athletes are born with the clutch gene, others have to work on being clutch. I believe the Pepsi Athlete of the Week, Tatiana Rocha, was born with it. She helped lead her team past the West Lady Warriors for the first time in 5 years. Sports reporter Zach Brown has the latest.
The Victoria East Titans softball team still has a shot to make the postseason thanks to a wild victory over the West Warriors nearly a week ago. Many girls stepped up, but Tatiana Rocha gave them life twice to help beat their crosstown foe. Head coach Melissa Buck tells why she's so special.
She's a great athlete. You see it on the field. She's one of the hardest working kids we have. She never says no when you throw her in a new spot and ask her to play anywhere. It's been cool to see her kind of have sustained success this year.
With the girls down 4-0, they mounted an early comeback and got a run on the board. Then came Tatiana Rocha to the plate to deliver a grand slam to give them the lead at 5-4. It was the first time she's ever hit a slam.
Whenever I hit it, honestly, I really didn't even know until I heard everybody. Then I was like, oh shoot. Then I saw it out there and I was like, it's not coming back in. I was like, oh, I hit it out.
The girls would then go down big 12-5, but slowly start another comeback. Down to their final out, Tatiana was asked to deliver yet another big hit. This time, it fell just short of the wall, but would bring them within one. She would later come home to tie the game. She said at the time, she didn't even know there were 2 outs, but it worked in her favor. Before a big game against Miller on Tuesday, she talked about what it would take for them to get into the postseason.
Well, hopefully we do come out on top. We beat them last time, so hopefully we can beat them again today. And like I said, if we get the if we get the 2 wins today and Friday, then we can maybe possibly go to playoffs.
And they would beat Miller and have a huge game this Friday against Corpus Christi Ray, who they fell just short against a few weeks ago. But they may not have had this opportunity if it weren't for Tatiana Rocha's grand slam and clutch double to help get them over the West Warriors. And that is why Tatiana Rocha is your Pepsi Athlete of the Week.
And switching to the NFL, Dan and Tanya Schneider are on the verge of selling the newly named Washington Commanders. The Washington team has been shopped around recently and have had interest from big names like Amazon owner Jeff Bezos. But as of now, the front runner is Josh Harris's group, which would sell for a record-breaking $6.05 billion. As of now, the deal is fully financed, but it is still not signed, meaning another group can come in and buy the team. That's according to reporter Adam Schefter of the NFL. Well, that's your sports. Don, back to you.
All right, Gino, thank you. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather, plus a story that rocks. A Maine museum offering $25,000 for a space rock.
There have been ups and downs over the last couple of years, but we persevered and kept moving forward.
And it has been awesome to see our community staying strong and working together when we need each other.
We want to encourage you to keep strong, but also know that when life puts you in a difficult situation, our law firm is here to help.
We are proud Texans who have each other's back.
So from all of us here at Cole, Easley, and Skiba, we want to express our deep gratitude to our community and encourage you all to stay strong.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
Victory Kia and Victory GMC want to let you know that you can lean on us. We will award $500 to a deserving winner. Drop off an entry form at any of our participating dealerships in the Lean On Me drop box with your story and contact info. Go to crossroadstoday.com/leanonme for more information or to enter online. You can tune in every other Thursday at the 6, 9, and 10 p.m. news to view our winners. Lean On Me is sponsored by Victory Kia and Victory GMC.
A $25,000 reward being offered for the person who finds a space rock somewhere near the border of Canada and the USA. The Maine Mineral and Gem Museum wants to study fragments from a fireball detected by NASA radar last week. The meteor is believed to have landed in a field. Leaders at the museum cautiously optimistic, saying the radar data will help someone find the rock, which could contain valuable information about the solar system. For the first time this year, the mercury rose to at least 80 in much of Massachusetts. Sunbathers, waders, dog walkers, and plenty of others enjoying the sun and the sand on a beach. The early taste of summer won't last long. Saturday's high is 59, which, by the way, is 5 degrees chillier than our low right now.
Sure, but what a swing in temperatures.
Oh,
for them.
man, I'm telling you.
I'm sure they were all enjoying the, T-shirts and flip-flops and Bermuda shorts and getting out there and enjoying.
In Boston, yes.
Of course.
Anytime.
Anytime. It's above 70, I guess. Folks, for us, we'll be warming up as well. We're getting up to about 84 tomorrow and then about 90 on Saturday. That's before that little front comes through. Now, it's going to be a front late at night with a few little showers, especially north of Victoria. If you're up in Hallettsville, you may have a better chance. But the good news is by Sunday, it's all gone, and we've got a very nice weekend coming up after that. So we got a hot weekend and then a cool weekend all at one time.
Thank you, Mac. And finally tonight, the Boston Marathon finish line is complete. Workers completed installing the finish line on Boylston Street for the 127th Boston Marathon, where some 30,000 runners will cross as they complete the race Monday. Metal barricades are up all along the race route and bleachers for spectators set up. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the marathon bombings, with security ramped up throughout the city. And definitely after what happened a decade ago, they want to have a great race and a safe race as well. So
Absolutely.
hopefully they
Wish them
will
the best.
on Patriots Day on Monday up there.
right.
All right, gentlemen, thank you, and thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10. We're streaming 24/7 Crossroads Today Plus. Join Carolina Astroin and meteorologist Trey Mining for 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.